Jeez, I look like I'm gonna go rob a bank. People seem to think you need to spend a lot of money to learn a language, but I'm here to tell you that ain't it, chief. I will say though that the more popular a language is, the more widely it's spoken, the more resources you can find for free that are accessible to everybody. Languages like Spanish is going to be far easier to find online than, say, like Bulgarian. There's just more of a demand to learn Spanish. So that being said, of course, it's always going to be more difficult to self-study than to take a class, because if you self-study, then you have to collect your resources on your own. You got to do your stuff on your own. You got to be a student, you got to be the teacher. It's twice as much work, but it's also twice as rewarding. I mean, who else can say that they taught themselves Russian? You know, like, incredible. So this one is definitely one of my favorites. I am a huge Reddit fan. One might call me a Redditor. Anyways, you can definitely find all sorts of language learning stuff on here for free. There is a subreddit called r/language exchange in which you make a post seeking this language and that language, offering this language. Some get more responses than others. I will say if you're offering English, you are in the majority. So this might be one of those opportunities when a smaller world language is probably going to get further. Believe it or not. I've had a lot of success on this one. I met a friend from Germany and we spoke for like a year and a half before he got a little too busy with school and we don't talk so much anymore. But anyways, you never know. You never know how you're gonna meet your friends. Why aren't you on Tumblr? Isn't it still 2013? As you can see here, you have all sorts of whatever you're looking for. Here we have German grammar. You've got any kind of answer to any question you could have about the language. You want Russian, there's Russian. You want French language books, we got those too. This is Harry Potter. There's a little bit of everything, and it is all 100% free. Giant mega folder with any old language you can think of and so much more. I found an anthology about witches, or there's folklore books, and then there's textbooks on language acquisition and linguistics. They also, in the last few years, got rid of the 21 and up content, which is good, depending on who you ask. In the first 5 minutes, I went to #LearnRussian, and I got a whole slew of options, and this was one of them. There's a long list of textbooks, stories, reading materials, apps. There's just so much stuff that's sitting here waiting for you to discover it. Here is a admittedly older reading textbook. If you're looking for phrases to learn, just basic communication skills. But anyways, it just feels like there's an infinite amount of knowledge that is there for your perusal. An entire community that is nothing but incredible. Definitely would recommend getting back on the Tumblr train. So this is one of my favorite websites. While there is a multitude of language options for the online articles, there is a whole section on German learning, and no matter what language you choose, it is only German that you can learn on this website. There is an incredible array of methods to improve. You have stories with pictures. They've created movies for A1 level beginner learners of German. You can take tests, you can have readings based on your level. It's really just well done, and if you are interested in learning German, I would highly recommend it. They also have something called langsame gesprochene Nachrichten, which is basically a news podcast spoken at a very slow level. So somebody in that A1, A2 level could probably understand it. As you can see here, there is French news as well on the same website. However, it is specific to learning German. Another thing I recommend is going to Google Maps and typing in the language you're looking at. Get in touch with people who have made your interests their profession. They are probably going to be ecstatic to hear from you, and that can open doors. Naturally, if you're trying to learn Bulgarian in the middle of Missouri, yeah, you know. But if anything, you can send an email, and I'm sure there is a Bulgarian enthusiast somewhere in the world that would love to speak with you. I had no idea that the Alliance Française de Chicago had the largest French language library in the Midwest, and I got to volunteer there, and that doesn't sound like a good deal. But wait, I got to volunteer there, and I did so just by asking. I sent an email. They let me basically be the librarian. It was incredible. I spoke French with all the clientele, all the staff. I got to pick out as many French books as I could name. And at the end of it, they gave me free classes for every X number of hours I volunteered there. So who really lost here? I feel like, I mean, certainly it would have been nice if they paid me, but whatever. I'm happy with the work I did there, and I'm happy with what I got out of it. I also made a ton of French connections. I feel like that's a reference to something. Anyways, one of those connections I just so happened to run into in Paris in the middle of the night on a Tuesday, but that's beside the point. I was waiting for the bus with my boyfriend. She just crept up on me. She's like, oh my god, I can't believe. We went for drinks. She told me all her secrets. So this little old website is called Coursera. It is iconic. Pretty much any class you can think to take, they have it on here. This one is called Udemy. It is very similar to Coursera. There is a multitude of options in terms of classes you can take. It seems that there's a wider scope of foreign language at multiple levels that you can choose from yourself. Anyways, guys, this has been super cute, super short little, I don't know what to call it, like a for your information kind of thing. Want to open your eyes to all the things you may not have known, or to what you did already know. Who knows? I hope you have a wonderful Merry Kwanzaa Hanukkah, and that we see each other real soon. Love you, bye!
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.